Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to Merely on Time. My name is Chris. I unbox and review budget watches. And today I've got a really interesting one. It's the first time I've had a watch like this on the channel. It's a chronograph watch, but it's also a dive watch. And so I guess you could call it a chronover, right? And so it's loaned to me by my friend Timmy. You can follow him on Instagram. I'll leave a link in the description. At Timmy the Carpenter. And it's the second fossil that he bought, the second one that he has loaned to me to review for the channel. So thanks, Timmy, for that. I was, however, quite disappointed with this watch, in particular because of the price that my friend Tim paid for this, and for, I think, good reason. What are those reasons? Stay tuned. So guys, before we dive into this fossil watch review, I want to remind you that because Merely on Time has reached 500 subscribers, we are doing a giveaway. I'm giving away this Seiko automatic watch that you can see behind me. And so if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. And at the end of this video, I will leave a link to the giveaway deets video. Click on it and watch it, and you will learn how to enter the giveaway. I'm not only giving away this watch, I'm giving away another watch and some other amazing prizes as well. So be sure to check that video out at the end of this one, and good luck to all of you. So here is the watch, guys, and as you can see, this is quite an attractive piece. It is what drew Tim to buy it in the first place. It really is a really nice looking watch. It does look great on the wrist as well. Speaking of what's on the wrist, I am wearing today my newest addition to my watch collection, the beautiful Seiko 5 SNZG13. I will be doing a review of this one as my next review. I absolutely love this watch. Tim, he loved this watch, and that's why he bought this one. And I think you can see it definitely is an attractive watch. There are a couple of things, though, that I was quite disappointed with, especially because of the price that Tim paid for this watch. So I'm going to take you to the website. I'll leave a link for the website in the description below, as well as a link to Amazon where you can buy this watch for a little bit cheaper than is listed on their website and a little bit cheaper than what Tim bought it for. Let me show you the website now. So what are we talking about with respect to price? Well, on Fossil's own website, they list this watch right now at $166.99. I think that is just too high. I'll explain why in just a moment. You can see it is reduced from their retail price of $209. If this is a watch that really speaks to you and a watch that you want to get, you can see they do have different colors there. But if you go over to Amazon's website, and I'll leave both of these links in the description of the video, you can see at least at the time of recording this video, you can get this watch for $118.99, and that's Canadian dollars. And I think that might be on the high end of what is reasonable. I certainly think it's more reasonable to pay that than the asking price on their website. So let's take a look at this watch more closely in some detail, and I'll tell you why I think that. So here we are back at the watch, and let's just deal with the specifications, and then I'll highlight some of the things that really kind of bothered me about the watch in regards to the price point that they're asking for. The case size is 42 millimeters in diameter if you measure from just underneath this pusher to the opposite side of the case. Factoring in the crown at the 3 o'clock, from the 9 o'clock to that crown, you're looking at 45 millimeters. It has a case thickness of 12 millimeters. The lug tip to lug tip distance is 50 millimeters, but with the protruding end links that you can see a little bit there, if you factor in those, you're looking at a 56 millimeter lug tip to lug tip. Lug tip to lug tip rather. The bracelet itself does have a slight taper down to the clasp, It tapers down to 19.6 millimeters and then back up to 21.7 millimeters at the clasp. You can see that the bracelet does actually have one of the nice things about this bracelet, possibly the only nice thing about this bracelet in some people's opinions, will be the quick release spring bars at the lugs so that you can swap it out easily enough. The entire watch, case, crown, bezel, I'm not sure about the bezel insert, the pushers, it's all constructed of stainless steel, which is of course pretty much the industry standard. And there is a mixture of brushing and polishing throughout, and so we'll just kind of take a look at that. You can see the side profile of the case is nicely polished. When you get to the top of the lugs, there's some vertical brushing on the lugs, and as we get to the bracelet, the outer links of the bracelet are brushed, and then the next two links on the inside of the bracelet are polished. So there is a nice mix of polish and brushing on this watch. The clasp is signed with Fossil branding. It is only a single security lock on it and just a pressed clasp, which will, at this price point, really bother some people. Honestly, though, I don't have a problem with pressed clasps, but at this price point, there is a good argument to be made that the clasp should be properly milled. The major issue that I have with this watch at this price point is this bracelet. And as you can see, it is a folded steel bracelet. It's not solid stainless steel. It is folded links. That is absolutely ridiculous to have that at this price point. It really is. And so I was upset when I saw this, because when Tim told me he spent nearly $200 on this watch, I was expecting to get a different bracelet on it, and it is very similar in feel and make than the first Fossil that he got, which he actually got for around $70. So that was one source of disappointment. So those are the specifications. Let's just kind of take a look at this watch going from outside to in. It does have a dive time bezel on it. One of the things that I was also a little bit disappointed in, and I think I'm going to try and zoom in so I can get you to see it, is the brushing on this just doesn't look the greatest. The bezel is circular brushed. I think it's an aluminum bezel insert. The website on Fossil and the website on Amazon don't really give the material, but it does appear to be an aluminum bezel insert. And I just don't think that the quality of finishing on that circular brushing looks that great. So that was another disappointment. But the bezel action itself is really good. 120 click unidirectional bezel. Have a listen. Really nice and tight, very distinctive clicks, absolutely zero playback. And so with respect to the turning of the bezel action, this is really great. Can't complain about that. I just don't like the finishing on the bezel itself. The circular brushing just looks a little bit sloppy in my opinion, and the camera might not be doing it justice. On the inside you have on the rehaut printed seconds and minute markers. And here's another thing about this watch. As we move into the dial, it would appear that it has applied indexes. And at this price point, I would think that the indexes should be applied. But those are not applied indexes. I've looked and looked and looked, and I think what they have done is they have gone on the back of the dial and stamped those indexes up so that it gives the appearance of being applied, but those are not applied indexes. And so at this price point, again, I think the indexes should be applied, and they're just not. They cheaped out a little bit on those. The seconds hand is beautiful, matches the color of the bezel. I really do like the color of it. It is, as I said, a very attractive watch, and you will notice, if this is important to you, that the seconds hand is hitting all of the markers. The indices that are around the dial, I like the design of them. I like the fact that they have little squares at the 9 and the 3 and the 6. in order to make way for those subdials. Nice symmetry to this watch, circular indices everywhere else, and the triangle at the 12 o'clock, and you can see that the bezel, everything lines up nicely, so they've done a good job of that. There is Lume on the hour and minute hand and the indices as well, and I'll show you the Lume shot in just a moment. And of course it is a chronograph, and it has a Japan movement. It doesn't really indicate, you can see at the 6 o'clock there, Japan movement. None of the websites that I'll link in the description indicate exactly what movement is in it. But to start the chronograph, and you can see the chronograph itself is quite legible. I am impressed with that. It is a 30-minute chronograph. You can see at the 9 o'clock, and I've already had it running for about, well, not about, exactly 12 minutes. The running seconds hand for the chronograph is there at the 6 o'clock. The pushers are nice. There's a nice distinct click when you push the button. You can see that the chronograph is running now. A typical Japan chronograph quartz movement with the 24-hour subdial at the 3 o'clock. It is nicely applied as well and done, quite legible on it as well. And so legibility for a chronograph is very good on this one. The only thing with these cheaper quartz movements is there's no quick reset. So when you push the button to stop the chronograph and push the bottom button to reset it, you'll see it will take some time there for the chronograph to reset. So you will have to wait. You're not going to be timing anything in quick succession with this one, but it's a pretty standard for this particular kind of quartz movement that's in it. Now again, for the price point that they are asking, $209, this could have had the much better Mecaquartz movement in it. I think it should have, if they're trying to sell this as a $209 watch. So those are kind of the strikes against it price-wise. Terrible bracelet, folded links, pressed clasp, not a huge deal to me, but it will be for some. The indices are just stamped from the bottom side of the dial. They're not applied. The movement itself does not indicate, a $200 plus watch. It just really doesn't. But other than that, it's a nice looking watch for sure, a very attractive watch for sure, and I do enjoy wearing this. Despite the fact that the links are folded, it is a very comfortable watch to wear, and it looks great on the wrist. And so I'm going to show you the watch on wrist now. I'll show you the Lume. The Lume is average. It's not awesome by any means, but it is average. And then I'll just give you my closing thoughts on it. And this is what it looks like on my 7.5-inch wrist. I removed 2 links in order to size it to my wrist, and the clasp itself has 3 levels of micro adjust. It is an attractive watch. This is the reason Tim bought the watch. It absolutely looks beautiful on the wrist. But again, for the price point, I just think it was a little bit too high, given the quality of the watch itself. Here's the Lume. So here is the Lume, guys, and as you can see, it doesn't look too bad right now, but I can tell you that after 5 minutes, it's a little wobbly because the camera tripod that I use for my phone actually broke, so I'm doing this by hand. But after 5 minutes, it virtually disappears, at least from camera. But I can tell you that after about 20 minutes, by the 20-minute mark, it does become quite difficult to see the time, and most of the indices that are lumed right now are not lumed after 20 minutes. The hour and minute hand do stay lumed, but again, it's average lume. It's not great lume. Pretty difficult to see the time after 20 minutes, that's for sure. So here are my closing thoughts. So thanks for watching, guys, and thanks to all of you who have subscribed. Again, stay tuned at the end of this video shortly for the details video on how to enter my 500 subscriber giveaway. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. As you can see, we're up to, at the filming of this, 524 subscribers right now. Most importantly, though, I want to hear back from you guys that are watching this. What do you think of this Fossil watch? I think that the value for dollar spent is low on this one. I think that the quality of the watch should be a little bit, well, maybe even much better given the fact that my friend Tim spent nearly $200 on this one. I just don't think the quality and the value for dollar spent is there on this one. I really don't. What do you guys think of this one? I know it's a very attractive timepiece. I've enjoyed wearing it. It does look great. And that's why my friend Tim bought it, because it's a great looking watch. But I think that it is overpriced. I think it should have been anywhere between $80 and $125, $130 at the most. This one came in for Tim, between $180 and $200. So I think that's just too much money for this particular watch. What do you guys think? Leave a comment below. I love interacting with you in the comment section. Thanks again for watching, and remember, whenever you leave your house, make sure you have a great looking piece to wear on your wrist, like this fossil, and remember that wherever you're going, you get there on time. God bless you. Good luck in the giveaway. Be sure to watch the video here and check out the details on how to enter.